Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I want to start with a channel update. I have a few important things I want to say about the channel and about how we will be going in the near future. If you just clicked on this video to hear the message, I will link that timestamp in the description box so that you can skip the update if you don't want to wait and listen. It shouldn't take too long. And if you do want to listen, that's great, but basically, I just want to talk about what's happening with the channel, at least for the next couple of weeks. So essentially, I am breaking away from the schedule that I laid out a couple of months ago. I really am not happy with the schedule and the flow of my work. I'm searching for a better one for me that will match with my energy, my other goals in life, and what I feel the channel needs. I am still going to be here. I will still be posting messages and videos, but it's not going to be very consistent, at least for the next couple of weeks. So maybe once a week or once every couple of weeks. So yes, that being said, I am still reachable. I am still here. You can send a message by commenting on a video or a post, or sending an email, which I will put in the description box of this video too. And then for the channel itself, I'm really not a channeler by default. I can do it, and I am pretty good at it. However, my information already exists predominantly within me, within my brain. I have been studying and hold a lot of info on ancient mysteries and occult knowledge, etc. And I have since I was very, very little. Again, I can channel information and look into new things, and it's how I probably got most of the information I have, in addition to sitting and contemplating and just stumbling upon the answers. Again, typically when I was like really little, like up to the age of 10, I was creating this wealth of knowledge that I sat on and I thought was just my fantasy world, and I thought were things that maybe everybody understood already, but apparently people don't. Originally, when I started this channel, I had the idea to have this channel, another channel where I did just informational work. So I answered questions about sacred mysteries, I answered questions about the universe, I answered questions about the hierarchy of souls and whatever. But that didn't really end up happening. It's a lot of work. I do keep it as minimal as possible so that I can continue to do it, but it is a lot of work to produce content, so it ended up just being confined to this one channel, in addition to a personal one and a crystal one, which one or two of you have discovered. So yes, I would like to transition this channel into something that does a little bit of both. Like I said, I don't mind channeling. It's how I probably stumbled upon a lot of information, but I don't want it to be the only thing I do here, because it's not as organic to me as just answering questions. I know a lot of stuff, like I said, and it comes to me much more naturally if I have input first. Of course, I don't have a huge audience, so it's not like I have a bunch of people asking me questions. A few things I had started at the beginning of this channel. Actually, there was an original channel that doesn't exist anymore, and I did it with that one. Was I would look at people who talk about similar subjects to what I am talking about and see what the questions and the comments that went unanswered were. And that worked for a little while, but it feels really inorganic again, and it doesn't feel like genuine input, and I feel like it is basing my content on an audience that isn't organic and natural to me. They didn't come to me, and because of that, it has a different energy, and they're looking for different things than what I can necessarily provide. While my answers may still be correct and accurate, they're not asking me, and so I can't meet them with that energy. And also, I don't want to cultivate another person's audience as my own. I want the audience and community here to be the audience and community that I belong to and that belongs with me, if that makes sense. So in that note, like I mentioned, you can reach me through a YouTube comment or an email. If you do have any questions about anything, stuff that you're wondering about energetically, metaphysically, whatever, send that to me. I would love to see it because it would give me something to go off of from the people who are already here. If you don't, that's fine, no worries. But yeah, that would definitely help me focus my direction a little bit. Because like I said, I don't know what people don't know, and I don't want to harvest it from other people's audiences. Another thing that came up was someone suggested a discussion group, which I think is a great idea, and it's something that I've been thinking about for a while. I don't know how I would run it. I don't know how I would organize it. Like, would I keep it on YouTube using a post or a video, or would I create a page on another platform or something that we could access? But I really, really enjoy that idea, and it is something that I am looking to create more of a community feeling here. So thank you for that suggestion. And if any of you have interest in that, or suggestions or ideas about creating a sort of community forum type of thing, definitely let me know. I'm very interested in that idea. And lastly, another reason why I'm needing to take this less structured approach right now is because I do have a lot of personal things happening right now. I am building my own business and I need some time to focus on it. YouTube does not support me financially at all at this point in time. I know there have been ads on my videos, but I'm not making any money. YouTube is getting all of that at this point that I am releasing this video. So it doesn't support me financially at all. So I need to make sure that I am set up for success with my business so that I can continue being here for you. Like I said, I am still around. Leave a comment on this video, any video, a post of mine, or send me an email, which I will put in the description. And yes, let's get into this message. Okay, so the message coming through is kind of interesting. We are using tarot cards to bring the message through today. We are using the Spirit Song Tarot, which will also be linked in the description box if you are interested in seeing that. So our first card here, kind of setting the tone, is the Five of Crystals, which is the Five of Pentacles. We have a ladybug on here with, it's funny, the markings on its back almost looks like a smiley face with a third eye, which is actually the same shape that you see if you take a bisection of a blade of grass and put it under a microscope. You might be interested in seeing that. So it's kind of like all of the world is looking back at you. It's definitely showing me, I think maybe if you have been feeling unsupported or underappreciated or anything that makes you feel isolated, this is a reminder that you are absolutely not. And if you haven't been feeling that way, then that might play into this message that's coming through. With the Five of Crystals, I'm actually getting a message that this is specifically about this winter. If you're in the northern hemisphere, if you're in the southern hemisphere, I suppose it would be your summer. But this winter is a very, very big, important portal gateway time is what I'm hearing. And they want you to know that you may be on ice for a little while. Ice is something that's a recurring theme lately. I've been doing some water research with Veda Austin's methods lately. I kind of put it away for a while and then brought it back up not too long ago. And so you have to freeze the water in order to do that. I'll link her in the description box as well. But so ice is something. And then I was listening to a message from Lexi the Leo, and she was talking about ice as well. And someone that I have been interacting with recently just went to visit a place that harvested ice. And so they're talking about ice harvesting and how it's been done in the past. So ice is something really important. I'm wondering if that has something to do with the ice caps or if it's a more energetic thing. Of course, it's always both, but take that as it resonates, hold it, and see if it comes up for you at all. If it has been coming up for you in any interesting ways, let me know. I'm very curious to see what this ice message is coming through. But there may be something with ice that's very important coming up in the next 5 weeks to 5 months. Okay, so back to the message. This winter, we will be experiencing a few different things. We will be experiencing a portal gateway. We will also be experiencing a moment of reflection where we are at a point where we can look back at our past with fondness, kind of like that bittersweet, like, oh, the good old days. Not that these aren't, but rather that it's not going to be the same anymore. I'm getting that this winter is going to be, like I said, a huge... And the phone ringing to emphasize that point for us. And also it is 11:11 on my timer as I am saying this. So where was I? Yes. The gateway portal time where we will be entering this gateway. It's actually quite different than a typical gateway where energy is coming to us. I am seeing that we are actually walking through the gateway energetically, emotionally, even physically, which is very interesting. There is an actual physical difference that we will be seeing after this winter. And here we actually have 0, which is the Fool, but in this deck it is called the Traveler, and we have I don't know what it is, some kind of bovine, maybe a gazelle jumping over some ferns and leaves and such in front of the sun. So there is this sensation of jumping from one point to another, which actually does make sense with the whole New Earth movement, the bifurcation, I believe people are calling it. But there's this sense of we're approaching the gateway, we are about to step through, and we're looking back fondly on all that we have had and all that was. And whereas we have maybe had a more negative view of New Earth in the past, we are looking back at it now as, wow, that brought us to where we are. And the New Earth the old Earth supported us to get to the New Earth. It acted as a ferry, and I'm seeing that turtle, the cosmic turtle that supports Earth and supports life. I'm also feeling quite agitated and overstimulated right now. My stomach has started being a little bit funny. You might be experiencing physical symptoms, like sounds really are bothering you that may not have before. For me, they have generally, but things are specifically overwhelming to me right now as I'm talking to you about this. My stomach started acting funny, maybe some digestive things are coming up, and it's like there's a lot of noise and wind and movement, and it's chaotic, and that might be a little bit much for your energy. So it is very important to ground as much as you can now leading up to the winter, because when we make that big change, we're going to need to have our wits about us, is what I'm seeing. We have to be able to step into this new energy with a clear mind, a clear heart, and a clear nervous system in order to take on the charge. It's going to be a huge charge. We need enough minerals, vitamins, proteins, fats. That's all they're saying. Those things, we need enough of them in our bodies and our systems to support our nervous system in the process. You may have been having a lot of sounds like ringing in your ear kind of a thing, or muscle twitches recently, that is a very good indication that these solar flares that are occurring and your energy in general is just being upgraded. The solar flares tend to spike the frequency, and that creates energy changes and shifts in people, and people who are like you, who are open to this, are much more aware of the effects it's having. There's another thing that's coming through. We have one ladybug and on the first card, and we have one gazelle or whatever this is on the second card. But on the third card, we have two otters, which is the Six of Shells. And it's almost like the ones that traveled alone are now coming together. They are no longer needing to be separated, and they're finally uniting. I heard reuniting. And so, I'm feeling like there's this sense of we're coming over a field, and it's dawn or dusk. I think it's dawn. And as we come over this field, we're all coming alone. And as we do, we can see the sun in the distance, and then we get up to a high enough point, and all of a sudden we can see all the other people coming up to the point in the field on this hill. And it's like, oh my God, there's more. And there's so many of us, more than you would ever imagine. And it's like we are all the ones riding the sun rise into the new earth, into this new frequency, using the sun as our activator, our energetic portal, as new earth and us both rise up like a wave into this new frequency. So that is the message that is coming through. I'm not getting anything else. I do feel like there is something else here. I'm not tapping into it. Hang on. So I heard 3 phrases, and I'll say them in this order. We have money, finances, system collapse, and you are not alone anymore. And on the timer, we had 17, 17, 71. So again, another confirmation. I feel like what we are seeing is, actually, what's coming through is there is a sense of collapse, and there has been for a long time. It's been slow going and gradual, which is necessary, because it is necessary for the change to happen gradually in order for us to handle it. But as these systems of division collapse, we realize that we were never alone, and we realize just how many of us real people there are. As these systems collapse and fall away, it acts as if the smoke is being cleared and rained away. It acts as if the dust is being tamped down. Just the fine mica powder is left shimmering in this atmosphere, and we can see each other finally for the first time in such a very, very long time. As these systems collapse, we must remember that there is something behind them, that the curtains are falling, and it looks like a crash because it is. And I am not one to talk about religions very often, but the image I got was, there's a story that I believe it was Jesus saying that he would destroy the church and rebuild it in 3 days, and that the curtain separating the inner temple from the outer temple was ripped in half, exposing everyone to the Ark of the Covenant. I have absolutely no idea if that's accurate, so take it as it is, and if it's not accurate, it's not meant to be. But I'm pretty sure that's what the imagery is. And the curtain is red in this image that I am getting, and as the curtain rips, I'm also seeing the stone table in Narnia cracking in half, and it's like when you get to the bottom of a steep incline and your ears finally pop. Finally, things are back to the way they should be. Finally, the pressure is over. Finally, we can take a deep breath and come back to equilibrium. So, a big winter ahead coming through with this message today, and I hope that it was useful and helpful. I hope that it was hopeful for you, and let me know in the comments what you thought about the message. If you were here for the channel update, let me know all of those thoughts if you have any. And otherwise, until next time, bye.